Alright, we're going live. Let's crash the streams. And good bitrate. And I see stream health is green. And stream health is green.
Yes.
And we're under entertainment. Whoa, our category is entertainment. Who the hell would call this entertaining?
I would.
Yeah, well, you're living the dream, man. You're not actually watching it. There's a difference. Or listening to it.
Maybe if I start watching it on that. You know.
Oh boy, hang on. We're having. Are we doing? Are you? Yeah. Oh wow, we are really dropping frames. I wonder why.
All of them.
And let's try this one more time, gentlemen.
Let's try again.
And
We're back live. We are back live. I can see us, and you know, oh, we were.
No, I'm still seeing kilobytes. Strong.
Yep. Okay. Looks like it's back.
Yeah, it just looks like they were having a lot of high traffic on that one server, so we had to freaking change the server. So what does that tell you, everybody? When you can't get to Washington, D.C., just go to Toronto.
Good evening, Curtis. We're about to start. My one keeps dropping again.
That's now on you, because that's you now. Because I'm seeing nothing but green bars across the screen here for me.
Okay, I don't mind pausing it because I don't need to see.
Yeah, I don't need to see myself talk.
I can already do so on Skype here. So, nah.
I have us on 4 screens watching us talk in various levels of delay. So trust me.
I just have to remember which way the screen is on. It's like, are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Welcome to Tigwhippy's Chat Roulette. Which one of us has our pants on? Yes.
Make your suggestions then. Right, so Hergelman's there. You're there. You're there. Sorry. In fact,
I've never changed. My location is always the same every single show. I never change it. You guys are the ones that change.
That's what happens when you host the call.
Yeah.
Because if I hosted the call, your position would be changed.
Except it would make sense. You would be able to sit in the upper left or right hand corner depending on if we're using staging directions or not.
But yeah, in that case, then I'm going to say welcome everyone to episode 32 of the Game On Player Self. I am Lard Teammaker, aka Will McKellar, and joining me as always on this side,
correct,
is James Boogles Atkinson.
Go.
Almost merged us into one human being. / pigeon love.
Yes. Is that gonna have to be my new username now? I'm gonna have to change that to Skype to
Gubboogles.
Gubboogles. That's the new Steam name.
Yeah.
You can find me at Gubboogles at twitch.tv. I wonder if that's taken.
This is where we break everything down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna get on that. See if we can get that Twitch channel.
You know you got to do it. And also joining us as well down here is Hergelman.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
How's your week's been? Because we've got a shit ton of news to talk about tonight, and what we've been playing, and any shout outs, and also about next week with Game Blast, and possibly some esports stuff from Hergelman.
Probably some esports. I mean, I haven't played next to anything, so this is going to make the news part really key to this show.
Oh, we've got some bits of news. We have some tasty morsels. So
This is my tirade for the end of it.
was gonna say, shall we start with that one? Or do you want to build up to it?
No, I want to build up to it. It also gives me time to buy a USB adapter for
Okay.
it.
Hey, he's only shopping. He's not like he's playing a video game.
Well, let's start with some silly news then, first of all, and it's to do with the Nintendo Switch. Now, Eurogamer, in the past couple of days, they got their Nintendo Switch through, which is pretty cool. But however, they were going to do an unboxing video, and then they saw the embargo list of what they can and cannot do. So what they could do, they could open the box, they could show you the box, they could show you the Switch in the box. Can't take it out just yet though. Not allowed, they're under embargo.
Now, can they not take it out of the box, or can they not show other people that they have taken the Switch out of the box?
From what I can gather, they cannot show they've taken it out of the box. So I believe they're waiting to leave it in there so they can do the video.
Is it like the scene in Seven where like Morgan Freeman is like staring at it and like Eurogamer's gonna go, "What's in the box? What's in the box? Tell me, man, what's in the box?" And secretly, it's like like the head of Nintendo's severed head in it or something like that. By the way, Seven, great movie. Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, and Brad Pitt. Very good watch.
You got Reggie just standing in the background, just looking menacing, holding his hat, rubbing his hands like, "Don't you do it. Do not take that Switch out. Or I will be very, very nasty."
I will be angry, and I will write you a letter about how angry we are with you that you have taken the Switch out of the box.
It's very, very silly. We've had other people say to us, like, "Well, why did they bother making a video in the first place? Why didn't they just wait?"
Because they could. Because it's going to get 10 billion clicks, because it's the Switch.
Exactly, and it's fun.
Hype.
Ride that train. Ride that train.
The hype truck.
Get the hype train a rolling.
As Curtis says, there, it is absurd. They have to wait.
Yeah, very
You know,
absurd.
some people have said, "Fuck at that," and taken theirs out. So they went, "Screw you, Nintendo." Not
You
us.
won't let me put this on YouTube anyways, so fuck you.
You know, if Nintendo want to send us a Switch so we can try it, we won't say no. Good, there's our shilling. so there's the first bit of news. The other one, concerns E3. Now this is early stuff, but Microsoft are switching things up a bit. By bringing up.
I don't know if that's a low blow or.
Transition?
Nice little segue, I think.
Sure, we'll go with that.
So Microsoft are not holding their E3 presser on the Monday that they normally would do. They're bringing it forward to Sunday from 2 p.m. Pacific time, so 10 p.m. over here in the UK. And they are going to show off what looks like going to be a huge amount about the Project Scorpio. Because they have that little bit on Twitter, when they showed the actual chipboard, the Scorpio from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Big picture from Larry Herb with that on there. So big hint that it's going to be about Scorpio, which I'm actually looking forward to listening to and seeing what it's all about. Because, this is the thing that could actually be properly 4K from the box rather than upscaling stuff,
I mean, it's interesting that they're taking a media move to kind of end the show. I mean, it makes some strategic sense because you're ending the show, so we're like, this is the last thing that's going to be ingrained in people's minds that you hear about is the Microsoft thing. So it makes sense.
This is going to be at the beginning. This is going to be this is going to be the same day as Bethesda. Yeah, they're going before Bethesda.
Wow.
Bethesda's going to be was there going, well, seeing as other people are copying us on a Sunday.
But here's a question: What is
PlayStation staying on their day?
I imagine so. At the moment.
Because I imagine that what they're planning on doing is they specifically wanted to move their time so that they're not before PlayStation. because then they can re-edit any of the shit they're going to be doing to fuck with PlayStation, like
Well, no,
they did last time.
They are going before PlayStation.
Yeah.
now.
Are they going before PlayStation?
They're going. Remember when Bethesda was the first show? They're going before Bethesda. They're the first show.
Oh, they moved from. Oh, wow, I thought you said Sunday to Monday, not Monday to Sunday. Oh, in that case, whatever.
Well, remember, like E3 is like kind of like it runs like a convention where it's like got like Friday to like Tuesday, so it runs like a con.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I thought he said Sunday to.
Yeah, but
I thought he said
normally it's Wednesday
moving them.
through to it's normally Wednesday to Friday for
What-
E3
Yeah.
because it's because you're looking normally they used to do the Monday stuff with Microsoft. Microsoft used to be the first one, and then you had Tuesday was normally things like EA, Ubisoft, Sony. Wednesday morning was Nintendo Direct, and then it opened up. And that's how it used to be. But then last year, Bethesda came in and went, we're going to do ours on Sunday. EA went, well, we're not going to do ours at E3, so fuck you all. Which pretty much they did with EA Play, because they had
Yep.
it in both LA and London that bit, because it was like the Saturday on there. So, you know, that was a big change there, which, again, they're doing EA Play, but they're only doing it at one location this time. So that's where it's different. So Microsoft are trying to get a jump on it because of the whole. They want the press. They want all the cameras and everything on them for this Project Scorpio. Because what big thing is Sony going to bring out this year?
They're probably going to talk about whatever their 4K PlayStation is. What, the Pro?
Yeah.
And then, but we've got the Switch. You can take it with you. You just can't take it out of the box yet. But you can take it with you when you're allowed to take it out of the box. You know.
Now, now here's something that I would love to see, and that is Nintendo going before both of them, and then filling all of the seats of the showroom with a Switch. So when people come in to sit down for the other one, they all have a Switch that they can play for the next two shows.
That'd be pretty good.
Like, just out of the box, here it is, right now. Right now, here it is. Play. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
We're doing a thing. Everyone's on the Scorpio.
But I've got
playing.
Zelda. I've got the Zelda demo.
Zelda, hey, okay. Hey, you can get DLC for Zelda. They're getting a season pass that everyone this week has been blowing up about. It's like, really? We've had season passes for quite a few years now, and only now again you're complaining.
Here's a question: When would the season passes like release come out?
They
around
came out in the Modern Warfare 2 era.
Okay. Which is about
Right
when
around there, either a little bit before or a little bit after, but
Isn't
like
it
right
like when-
around that time.
roughly when Skyrim came out.
It was about
no,
10
it was before Skyrim.
Okay.
It was before I went to college. Was season passes started?
Okay, so we know how far behind Nintendo really is now on the curb.
Yes.
Season pass.
Skyrim before season pass.
Yeah, so
So yeah, we're
they're
looking
going
at
back in
9
time.
years.
That's what they're doing. They're going back in time.
I mean, honestly, real talk. If they went back and just re-released the like N64,
On the Switch.
not even on the Switch, just remade the N64.
Yeah, that just because all of our
rolling in it.
our
Because
generation.
buy it all.
Yeah, with just disposable. Because we are getting to the point where we're starting to have some disposable income, and boy, if you want to talk about pulling on some heartstrings, that's it right there.
The mini N64. That'd actually be a really cool thing to do.
That'd be
Yeah, you could do a little handheld N64. Like, you could do it with the full screen. All the stuff is so poorly, It didn't age well, so you can stick it right there on the thing.
And here's the question, though. Would you allow it to connect to the internet so you could play actual GoldenEye with your friends, or would you make it so that they would have to come and play split screen?
On the little tiny thing. I think, honestly, if they made a mini console that you could connect to the Switch, that was an N64, then it was basically just a controller with a big screen set up. I think that having it go online would be cool, but split screening to your TV would be way better. Because first and foremost, you'll have a bigger screen, and then secondly, you'll have more screen.
So you can get pissed off at Fred again for playing Oddjob and GoldenEye. Fucking dude! Fred! Oddjob is short, none of us can shoot him, there's no aim assist on this fucking game, nobody chooses Oddjob. Dude, it's a legitimate strategy. He's a character in the game. We all had that, Fred. He always did it, too. You either fist fought over Bond, and they had to play, like, Soldier X all the way at the end of the thing, which kind of looked like Bond, but it wasn't really fucking Bond. Yeah, the one guy who played Jaws, because fucking Jaws, and then Oddjob.
That was me. I was Jaws.
You were always Jaws. Okay, so you're Jaws. Everybody remembers those guys. The fist fights can come back.
Just looking in the chat, it's like we know Geo saying that we know how people are with season passes are announced pre-launch, especially if announced what's going to be on it. Always divided, either it's cool or boo cut content. And Punisher is saying that the best season pass he had though was Witcher 3, which it was one, but it's like that's the thing about season passes. We've had them for years now. They're nothing new. The only thing they're really new for is Nintendo that's doing it now, and people just seem to be just go, oh Nintendo are doing this. So, well,
their last bastion of safety against the DLC plague.
Is nothing sacred? Not even Zelda is sacred anymore. What is this blasphemy?
Whereas, do you know the simple way to actually combat this stuff?
Don't buy it.
Bingo.
Or wait a year when the gold edition comes out with all the DLC bundled into it for the same price as the original retail game.
And then buy it.
Or wait for the gold edition to become available on Steam during a Steam sale and get it for 30% off.
Now, there's an issue with the don't buy it theory with some games, most of them being the huge names, the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, those. And that is, if you don't have certain map packs, you will not be able to access certain game modes. And that becomes a problem.
Or you just don't buy the game or just wait until the sale comes on.
Exactly.
Don't worry, I can solve this problem. Buy Counter-Strike Global Offensive, they play 3 maps. That's it. The pros only play on fucking 3 maps the entire time. That's all you have to play and learn to get good. It's literally the same thing. The money's in skins. Sometimes you may want to get, sometimes you have fake pack openings for skins because people give you money for that. But hey, that's different. That's different. That's not cheating. That's just cheating for cool shit. That's not actually cheating in the game.
Which is fine.
It's not like they're losing money ever.
Yeah. And besides, it supports Gabe Newell, and we all know Gabe Newell is best Newell. just the end scene of Metal Gear Solid 4, just saluting Gabe Newell as Guns of the Patriots plays in the background, just like the most proudest American shit ever. There's your mental image right there.
Punisher says he only buys season passes for RPGs, but before we close this bit out, do you guys look at season passes and go, well, yeah, I see this. Let's see, we get plenty more story missions here, so I'll buy it. Or do you go, yeah, I'll just wait?
I have only bought one season pass in the last 2 years, and that one was the Fallout 4 season pass.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because when they announced what was in the season pass and that they were going to bump it up by $20, I bought it before they bumped up the season price pass because it made monetary sense for what you'd pay in the DLC. It made sense. That's how I looked at it. I don't buy a season pass, or I should say I bought 2. I also bought the XCOM 2 season pass. But they went before they even launched the game, says these are the expansions that will be in the season pass. This is the content you're going to get. The content will cost X amount each time. You will be saving $15 if you buy the season pass.
Will, bump your camera.
What? Come on.
You're fuzzy.
There
You're fuzzy.
we go.
I
tried to tell you earlier.
It's like
That's what that was.
Universal sign now, guys. Bump your camera. Don't do it now. You may make it worse.
Okay.
So, how about yourself, Chris?
I don't typically buy season pass things. I don't typically buy DLC. It's dependent on, first and foremost, like how long I've played through the game without it, if it's even necessary, and like what I'm really getting out of it. For example, the DLC for Borderlands I usually support because they go through these extravagant storylines, and when they have the new characters, they're usually interesting to play as well. But like, I didn't buy most of the Halo 3 maps. I didn't buy most of the extra map packs for a bunch of games because they're just map packs. If it's not contributing a significant enough thing to the game, I probably won't. I buy into things like all of the Skyrim DLC because they're really good at what they do. They deserve it. Like, in all reality, to anyone who has sat down and played thousands of hours of Skyrim, let's be honest, the game is worth more than the $60 you paid for.
You can look at the
It's a high price point, but like...
look at the longevity that game has had.
Absolutely. Like, it's... And I didn't even buy it at retail price. I bought it on the cheap. I got it for like $20. So, like, that plus all the DLC, like, way worth more than... Way more worth out of that than that. But yeah, like, generally I'll avoid it in multiplayer. I generally try to pay what I feel like the game is worth, and like what the game gives back to me. So like, Overwatch is an example where it has a retail price, and I think it's reasonably priced. It's like $30. Definitely worth that. And then the extra bits that I pay into is because I feel like I'm getting more out of it for that price. Same with Diablo 3. I felt like that was absolutely worth the price it was at, and things like that. So if a game I buy feels like it's worth more, and then there's DLC that is worth more, then I'm going to grab it. But it's really, it's wibbly wobbly.
Because I mean, the only sort of the biggest DLC pack that I've bought, especially in the past 6 months or at least a year, has been The Witcher 3, like Punisher, and I think that's been worth it as well, because you look at it. I mean, if you got the DLC packs retail, then the chances are you would got the Gwent cards as well, so you were getting Gwent in reality. So it's just it was a case of, you know, and those bits were just, you know, it made it worth it. And the size of the DLC for another 20+ hours at least for there. You're almost getting a brand new game there with those bits anyway. So, you know, if you can get that on a decent price, especially now, you're looking potentially over 200 hours for that. So I mean, that's just, you know, really, really great offer. I mean, then you can get some really shit offers for DLC. And again, like Punisher said, Destiny. The way they had Destiny set up, where you had one sort of season pass for 2 bits, then, oh look, you have to pay another season pass. Boom.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
where I
yeah.
see things going wrong really fast. Is like when you have season passes that don't cover like the vast majority of the DLC intended to be released.
I think the
Yeah.
other thing you have to look at too is that, and I think it's the definition of Destiny, that if you didn't call it a season pass and you just called them what they were expansions to a multi MMO, it would have been fine, because Destiny being an MMO, and it is because it's a massively online multiplayer game, that's the industry standard. So
So yeah, so that's that better news. Do you want to go and say about any bits in esports before we get into this other big piece of news?
well, I mean, we can also talk about Steam, because that's kind of a big thing that's going to be happening soon for a lot of game developers.
Okay then.
Uh, that being that Greenlight is going bye-bye. So the original Greenlight model is that you were paid Steam $100 to put your game on them for peer review, and then they would, at that point, if it got enough views or anything like that, they would advance the game onto the Steam sale. Now they're going for Steam Direct, which basically means if you have to give them an application with the game, they have to do some stress testing of the game to make sure it clears some basic standards, and then they put the game on Steam. And then they think they take like a, trying to remember the numbers here. I actually have them pulled up. So what they were saying is, Wired, why are you doing this to me? Yeah, so they normally take, so they would submit a game for compatibility test and play a recoupable, keyword there is recoupable, application fee for a game to be uploaded. Valve usually takes 30 cents, takes a 30% cut for sales through Steam. So you look at something like that, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to like make a better pipeline. What they're saying is that Greenlight like created a lot of area for people to put indie games in, but there's also the quality and the quantity issue, where let's be honest, let's Steam Greenlight. So there's a lot of games on Steam Greenlight. A lot of them not very good. But because you paid your $100, I can take every 12-hour project I've ever done in RPG Maker and post it, and hope I get enough people to peer review it to sell the game. So I can understand where Steam is going with this. It maybe it's creating a little bit more of a barrier to get your game on Steam. Obviously, the big thing there is recoupable application fee. We don't know what that dollar amount is yet. But
I'm going to be assuming it's going to be pretty much the same thing,
$100 probably.
Yeah, that's my expectation on that.
But it's going to be $100.
There was talk it could be a couple of grand on there, and because I know Jim Sterling was on about this, and he was on about it. If it was a couple of grand, then it might push smaller indies out of it, because obviously the cost. But
that's why I don't think it's going to be that.
He reckons it's going to be, realistically, probably around about $500-$600, maybe a little bit more.
And that
if it's non-recoupable, then it's probably going to be around $100 to $200.
It's recoupable.
If it is recoupable, then it doesn't matter what they put. My estimation, because you're going to be getting it back, so it's not going to make a difference to them. Either way, they're not going to be putting it too high, because solo and indie developers are going to be wanting to get on the platform. When they're on the platform, most indicators, they don't have any. There's a clause where you can't quote the exact amount that you're having the cut from, but indicators show it's around 30 to 35% cut. 35% of any sales you make go straight to them. So even if you make 10 sales, they're still making something, and that covers the cost of uploading it onto their server, which is pennies for them to cover. So they're really losing nothing on that. What they are losing out on with the Greenlight is they have a bunch of shit games getting pushed through because people do flood mechanics to try and get as many flooded in upvotes and whatnot. I know that it's been relatively easy to get up into the numbers just by having a large venue of people tagging a thing at one time. That sudden resurgent spike of attention is what gets people moved in. Whereas through this new system, it sounds like they're going to be doing a little bit more like double checking and stuff, and not just using a vote system. The vote system in place could have worked if there wasn't that error to deal with. So,
and the thing is too, and probably anybody who has Steam can attest it. Go to Steam, go to newly released right now, and look at those games. Just do it. I'll wait.
I don't want to.
Just look at those games. How many of them looked like a relatively polished, because I will say relatively here, polished indie game? And how much does some of them look like you had like a couple months of development on it and just threw it to see if you could make some money?
Digital homicide.
As a former indie dev, a fair amount of those don't really look like they got polished to a point.
So,
mind you, I'm also very nitpicky with it too. So
I just remember
why I stopped.
Because that's the. I hope it helps. I really hope it does bring some quality control in to this.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing, because the one thing I was hearing about green light was they don't always check them. It's just like an automated system almost.
It is an
Just
automated
go.
system. They don't check
So
it.
yeah, you just you paid us your money. There you go. Boom, it's on there.
Yeah.
Whereas this hope actually brings that the human has to do that.
Well, they brought in before they brought in another system that wasn't quite greenlight. It was almost like a Kickstart, like, would you guys want to play this type thing? Which was mostly for concepts and prototypes, not actual games. It was a tool for developers to figure out how, like, if they wanted to continue developing the title that they were working on. And that seemed to have, from what I saw when I looked at it, that seems to have been fairly good. There was like actually like commenty bits and whatnot, like you can actually note things from what I saw, which wasn't very much and not very extensively. But if they're going through a different system that way, I think we're going to be seeing a lot less of unfinished projects pushed through. A lot of games that are greenlit at an early stage from early promises and then never going forward with those promises. I think we're going to be seeing a lot less of that.
So the
So a lot less of
majority.
StarCraft, for example, that seems to have been in bloody early access for fucking years.
DayZ.
Which one?
StarCraft. No, not StarCraft. What was it?
Star
is it
Citizen.
That's the one.
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Citizen.
Star Citizen.
Sorry, I stand corrected. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it seems like it's been in there for years. And a mate was talking about it yesterday, and it's like they still got other big things they want to put into there, and it's just a case of they've not finished this yet with the budget they've had and the overrun of budget, and they've increased of it. I mean, we've had someone in chat saying there's no AAA games on Steam that's popular. Not
Not right now. There hasn't been any AAA games released recently that are popular on Steam right now. That's fair. I can say that. I mean, granted, also remember, everybody's Steam is tailored to your specific picks, which is something that they put in to, adjust for the overarching spam of indie games. Because I remember one day waking up, and then the next thing I knew, it was like, okay, let me see what's new on Steam, and it was just
Just indie games.
it was just cute anime girl pictures just down the list. I'm like, I thought something else was supposed to come out today, and it was just
It did. It's also drowned out by the 57 visual novels that were published today.
yeah, that are like $1.99.
Punisher's Lee's asking what happened to Deep Down. Does anybody know?
Down on
Oh, deep down. Which one was that one?
it got shoved deep down under the rug. That's what happened.
Into development hell.
Yes, I mean, like, let's also like look at, and I know this is one of Chris's favorite genres of game, but let's look at the massively survival online base building destructible game. How many of those are in development issues now? Could Ark as well? Ark did good, but DayZ, the Arma mod, is that still that has Rust made it out of development yet? Is that actually?
I think it actually. I don't think it was in development for very long. I think they went full game because they weren't pushing too much further with it when they launched it in early access. Because it was one of the flagships of early access.
Yeah. Let's
along with it was like that and DayZ were the early access flagships, and
I think DayZ's still on early access, by the way.
I have no idea.
I'm not a betting man, but I would probably say pretty good chance that
because I'm pretty sure they went. Yeah. Nope, it's still early access.
Yep. Told you. And like I said, that's not knocking that genre of game, but it's like, dude, come on.
I think at this point they're just lazy and don't want to actually release it. Air quotes. It's just easier to keep it in early access.
It's because our game has so many fucking bugs. Hey, but in interesting news, DayZ Development Twitter did say that one of the major steps towards the beta is we're saying goodbye to the SQF script. So sorry, they're not even in beta. They're not even in beta yet with DayZ. How long is that?
Apparently, Rust is still doing like major elements. This is as of yesterday. They did a new prefab optimizations, new models, like a lot of new models, fixed a bunch of hacks and exploits and shit, added new items, added refrigerators, created new a lot of models. CCTV, charcoal, cloth, explosives, gunpowder, HQ metal ore, leather, low-grade fuel, metal fragments, paper, sulfur, targeted computer, metal ore, sulfur ore, gears, duct tape, bleach, machete, F1 grenade, bone club, bone knife, stone axe, hammer. Like, just...
Machete.
This is yesterday.
And so, I mean, you know, some games may take the Minecraft cycle of development. Which, you know,
the survival buildy games kind of have to, especially if they're not using a voxelized world. They have to adjust for changes and randomizations and things in whatever system they're using to kind of auto-balance and correct for itself. So it is a tricky thing.
And you don't obviously want a game to get released too early because their media pushed them to release the game early, saying there's all these things, and then the creator lied about what was actually going to be the game at the start, and then you tried to worry about wormholes, and there weren't really wormholes in the game, and then the Twitter got hacked, and people said things, and you know, yeah. I'm not going to name any names. Well, there's no way I'm going to name any names because the sky's the limit on that.
We have a strong opinion in chat saying DayZ needs to die.
I'm not saying it needs to die. I think at this point, though, it needs to shit or get off the pot. we're at that stage. Because I can play DayZ by playing Arma with a mod and having it be 10 times better than the actual DayZ game. Because guess what? That's what it is.
Well, DayZ's last update was, I think, the 7th. I was just looking at it a second ago. So, DayZ... Yeah, the 7th. The 7th was the last one. And it looked like they were just doing a lot of major bug fixes. But I mean, like, they're still working on it. They're still chipping away at it. As I slowly throw my controller.
And then we had the newer survival one that came out recently, of Conan Exiles, with movable penis.
With dong physics.
With dong physics. I think that was the biggest thing that people missed from early Rust. Was funkin' with some junk.
Funkin' with some junk. Dong.
Yep.
Dong physics and Rust. There you
Yeah,
go.
I would
You
say
can do
how long
online
that's
now,
gonna-
guys.
How long is that going to be in early access? But
Oh god, I don't fucking know. Well, it's Maya, so probably not long at all.
cool.
Oh no, not Maya, Funcom.
Funcom.
It's Funcom. Funcom is pretty damn good at like getting things pushed through.
They're also like a major developer, so.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Skyrim does have dong physics. You find the right mod, you could definitely get them dong physics.
Okay. Are we ready for the big round?
No, we got sports first.
Esports.
Because-
Da-da-da,
Esports.
da-da-da.
Okay, so today is the 5th week of the regular season of the League of Legends North American LCS. We got Dignitas versus FlyQuest. We got Envy versus Phoenix. Tomorrow we've got quite a few people lined up. CLG versus Immortals, Liquid versus Dignitas, Cloud9 versus Tism, Envy versus Echo Fox for tomorrow. And then Sunday we have FlyQuest versus Tism, Immortals versus Echo Fox, Phoenix versus Cloud9, Team Liquid versus CLG. I will always root for CLG because I share initials with them. So yeah, that's going on. We're only a few weeks out. It looks like 4 weeks until the regular season is over, and then we have the fucking something. Dota 2, the Asia Championships look like they are pretty much over. It doesn't look like there's new things. Last match was 4 days ago, so I think there's a winner there. I didn't check to see what that is just yet. But I'll get more info on that next week because I'm digging through a bunch of shit and I have another thing I want to talk about. I didn't see anything new with the E-League for the E-League Major for CSGO. Yeah, that's the sum total of the experts.
There is another one, just briefly. Rocket League is doing an esports league where you could win up to $300,000 for this. The sign-ups end on the 22nd of February. So, if you have a 3-person team and you want to do that, head on to RocketLeagueEsport.com, I believe it is, and you can sign up there. It's on the main menu bit of Rocket League, so you can find out all the information you need.
Are we going to form a 3-man team and just absolutely botch the first play?
I want to do this. I want to go for
I will
another-
buy Rocket League for this.
We have kind of a pool of players to build from. You have the Rocket League Community Night team. You can get Sandbag and Curtis. I know you're in the chat, Curtis, and don't you dare say you're not a sandbagger, because you freaking are. I call
we
you
have
on that.
Curtis. We have Curtis. We have Stratham. We have Christopher Beanhead.
Yeah.
He's really good. We have Bish Fingers, who is fucking good as well. We have Simmer, who's really good.
Should Tigwhippy support 2 Rocket League esports teams? Because we could technically do that.
I
Let
think
me have
we
me.
should.
Well, we was say wait, if we have, because here's the thing: if we have 6 guys or 6 people, I should say, I'm not going to assume that they're men or
Guys
women.
being a gender neutral term in this case.
True, but we'll say people. 6 people. We could each captain an esports Rocket League team,
This is true.
and
Piranha needs to be in sports. That's an idea.
that's I can see
I
that.
wish I could play
Yeah.
Honor. I really don't want to tweak my settings for NAT things to try and get it to work because bad experiences are bad. But yeah.
We should have a draft of an esports teams. You get to choose who you want. You can choose who you want to be your captain.
I'll take the worst.
I'll take. No, you have not seen bad play until you've seen me play. Like
I haven't played.
you're already better than me. You're already better than me. Either that, or we just support an esports team. If anybody from the Rocket League Community Night wants to do this, we'll check you out. We'll make you be the Tigwhippy's esports team. We'll do
Yeah.
that. We're happy to.
I will obviously audition to be part of this team, because I'm not bad. Let's hit most of the
Somebody has to represent the actual Tig Whippy's crew.
My team will be first come, first serve.
I wish I would see one person team that wipes a team ass. Almost.
I will be all 3 players. Controller, keyboard, another keyboard with my feet.
I got this, guys. Ain't no stopping me now.
So that will be the esports news for the week then. Go on and let's get on with it. We have one more bit of news, one more big piece of news for this week, and it's to concern PewDiePie, who has been making some jokes that are, past bit of decency, in good taste, and he's been caught out with them and been removed by Disney and YouTube because of them. And so we're going to talk about it. I'll let Chris, because I know he has a lot to say about this, start off.
All right. So, I want to first and foremost say that it was the Wall Street Journal was the one who did the initial set, and they specifically went through and grabbed various jokes, including jokes he made about people taking his stuff out of context, and took those out of context. So they had this whole collaboration of cherry-picked things and just wrote a whole hit piece on it. Now, I'm not necessarily a fan of PewDiePie. I don't really like his persona. But I gotta say, the dude's a good person. Anyone who goes around trying to get as much money for charity as physically possible, specifically because he can do it for charity, it's a good person in my book.
See, I could counteract this by saying 2 words of one guy over here in the past who did a lot of work for charity, but turned out he was a sexual predator. Jimmy Savile. And if you don't know who that is, Google him.
I'm going to do that right now.
he had a show over here called Jim Will Fix It in the 80s, where he used to do stuff for kids, where he used to basically make their dreams come true, that they had stuff. However,
what was his name? Last name?
Savile. Okay. Now he used to do marathons. He used to work for hospitals. He used to be a hospital porters, and he did when he died. There was some real itinerary list of shit he did, like sexual harassment, sexual assaults. So when we say, well, this is the counterpoint to the saying, oh, he was really great, he did all this stuff for charity. Yeah, this guy did, and he was a complete shit. Yeah, as Mono says,
that's fair.
Jim will fix it more like fuck it. Exactly. He used to host a chart show over here called Top of the Pops, and during one of the episodes, you saw this girl sort of writhing, sort of almost uncomfortably, because he was fingering her while he was hosting the show during the filming of it, and it's like, what? How he got away with this stuff during this time period, we don't know, because he was protected. It seems all the stuff was covered up, and after he died, it all started coming out, and it was just this huge scandal for the BBC. Because there was this joke that was going around from old BBC Television Centre. They moved from that a few years ago, and they said the actual building site of this place is actually safer for kids to play in now than when it was up. So that's my counterpoint to the charity bit, but so continue, mate.
Well, fair enough on that. But I mean, like, he's not actually an anti-Semitic or anything that is claimed in the piece. Like, he uses these jokes that are just there as a statement of irony.
Yeah.
Because we are, like, if you're watching this thing, you understand that, like, any of that is not serious. But when you just take only the instance shown and no before and no after. You're pulling it totally out of context. Like, what was it? The video, it was a video of him dressed up like an SS trooper. When he commented first, he was like, "Oh, these people have been talking about me, saying that I'm an absolutely horrible person. They have no idea." And then he proceeds to do that. Like, the irony is that he gets it. Like, it's part of an in-joke. When you start taking that out of context,
when you see that stuff in context of what it is, then you can laugh at it, and you should be able to go, "Yeah, fair enough." However, it's something that we were talking about before the show. It's again, it's a sitcom we used to have here called Fawlty Towers, starring John Cleese. He used to, he was an owner of a hotel. It was a rather sort of lowbrow sort of hotel, but he tried to make it better. And during one of these episodes, he had a head injury, and he had a load of German tourists there staying in the hotel, and he did all this sort of real sort of goose stepping and saying that when they said, "Is there something wrong?" He's like, "No, there's something wrong with why." He's like, "You're German." And it's like, when they said about an argument kicking off during the show, and the joke came up, I was like, "You started." And he went, "No, you started. You invaded Poland." Great joke, but you can't really get away with saying this stuff here in this sort of day and age, because there's just this political correctness limit that seems to be there.
yeah.
And it's like, if you say this stuff in public, and this is the problem with we have jokes in sort of context of, either in your own home, between friends, down the pub, for example, or at a stand-up show. In these bits, the situation is there where you know what's going to happen. You know that if you go to a Frankie Boyle stand-up show, you're going down a very, very dark path, and if you can't handle it, you shouldn't be there. Yeah. but things like YouTube, and especially PewDiePie, because he's almost looked at as like a role model for younger people, even with kids who look up to him. That's where this bit goes to the point where that's where they're trying to start going, well, okay, this is more than enough. You can't be doing this shit.
He's aged, though. The thing is that he's been doing this for years, and his audience has grown with him. So, and you can see a steady change in his comedy, going from just being frightened by playing Slenderman to where it's now. And I wouldn't necessarily say he's trying to grow his comedy. Has it gotten more intelligent? Has it gotten more highbrow? It's changed. It's become different, and he's evolved over time. This wasn't just like, "Oh, I'm playing Slenderman. Oh my god, tee-hee-hee. Next step, I'm goose stepping down, my studio." This has been a slow progression into this. And the thing is, too, a lot of this comedy has come about is because people have attacked him for being PewDiePie. So the whole thing that the Wall Street Journal is doing is what he would normally react to cause him to do these things. So the fact it's a secular thing. It's like he does he does a joke. People get angry because he's PewDiePie. He then reacts to them by showing them how immature their reaction is by making an even more immature reaction to the reaction in a very ironical sense by going over the top with it, which then gets taken out of context and becomes even more of a overreaction. It's not like
he proceeds to do a reaction on that, ironically doing and purposely portraying what they're claiming.
Yeah.
In just another sheer brick of irony.
So the point is that PewDiePie is the best at playing chicken.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Because
every moment that he has he has an understanding that someday he won't be the top YouTuber anymore. I think he has a very solemn understanding of that. So he doesn't give a fuck what he does, because he's an intelligent guy. I'm fairly certain he's already saved up more than enough just to not have to work a day in his life for the rest of his life. He makes millions right now, and he's not dumb in any respect. He is actually a very brilliant person.
He seems like he has a very modest living too. He's not out certain FIFA YouTubers who are buying Ferraris and shit.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. As I'm thinking, he's like the Bill Gates of the YouTube people, where he's not blowing all of his money just because he has money. He's just living normally still.
Also,
and
do we know that PewDiePie did a TED Talk about this? Did anybody realize that PewDiePie did a TED Talk about?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I kind of slowly stopped watching TED Talks.
But like he did a TED Talk about like what it means to like create videos, to be a content creator, what you need to do for the community, how you should give back. Like he even says like, I don't know how this happened. I really don't. But I'm here, I'm in this now, and this is what it's going to be. And for Felix, man, I can tell you, I'm not a big fan of his personally, but like, this is the kind of stuff that like it gives him ammo. You're helping him by doing this, because guess what, Wall Street Journal, he's gonna make a reaction video to this. It's gonna get 5 million plus views. And what's his ad revenue going to be off of that? Because Google may have stopped supporting him on Red, but they haven't revoked his ad revenue yet. So you gave him ammunition. I mean, you think about it. This is like any type of. I mean, he's a stand-up comic that can get his video out there to everybody who can react to you in almost real time.
So. Just a quick mention. There was a live stream with a bunch of other YouTubers, and they mentioned something about having the like trending on YouTube algorithm slightly tweaked, kind of to show whatever they feel like showing, not necessarily the main thing. And it's like a potential conspiracy theory. Unless you're looking behind the scenes yourself, it's hard to tell. But for a long time, like the initial reactions and everything, PewDiePie wasn't on trending on I keep trying to say other social media on YouTube at all. However, his response is number 1 with 8 million views right now.
So in a way, it's kind of helped him again get into the public eye, and it's more mainstream though in the public eye.
But here's the best thing out of all of it is that these other sites are still like, there's Wired that's still going after him. There's the Wall Street Journal is still going after him. I think there were other more like news media places that are going after him, and they keep saying he is losing. They keep saying that he is losing this battle between them, and he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't lose here. His loss, oh no, my job is gone, I can keep doing my charity things. Here's what's going to happen if PewDiePie decides to leave YouTube, is that the vast majority of his 53 million followers are going to follow him. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He'll bring Cinnamon Toast Ken and Jacksepticeye with him, both of which are going to be pulling other people with them. Cinnamon Toast Ken will probably be pulling Merryface, which then brings your makeup YouTubers gone. It's a cascading effect if he starts pulling his friends and his friend group to other platforms. The audiences will follow, and then the YouTube platform will fall.
And Gio in the chat saying his channel is going way faster again. Also, there's another comment in chat by Yun. Funny thing is, the YouTube won't stop making money if they ban him, because it's like a forest effect. When you chop down a huge tree, a couple of years later, there's tons of trees coming to
YouTube won't ban him. YouTube will never do that.
Oh, they're not. They can't. Like, I mean, they can, but they can't financially. He is their biggest moneymaker.
Yeah, there's kind of like it's the Cold War. It's the Patriots versus Roger Goodell. Neither of them may not like each other. They both are like playing a silent war of words with each other, but neither one can do anything to the other one because the entire machine falls down if something happens.
Here's the thing. I think YouTube had to be seen to be doing something though, because in the way the current climate is with the whole political situation, with you're getting Trump being asked about the whole anti-Semitism shit going on around in the White House. Whether it is not, don't know. But with that whole bit, it's the sensitivity of that is sky high at the moment because of it. And so with this coming out, with PewDiePie doing this stuff, jokes or not, whether it's poor taste, whatever, YouTube had to look at it and go, okay, he's been caught with this. We have to do something. We have to show something. Like when Hogan was shown to have the racist remarks. Whether Hogan's a racist or not, WWE had to do something. They had to be shown to do something because they're a publicly traded company. So they couldn't just say, yeah, it's Hogan just...
And I don't think we're attacking YouTube here as a company. I think out of all the people we've talked about, YouTube's not at fault here. I think they had it's a response. I think they had a very measured response by just pulling him from Red. By the way,
Yeah.
Red is not really a huge moneymaker for them right now, if at all. I don't think I've ever watched any of the content that they've produced on Red, even though we're probably on gaming right now. Hi, YouTube Gaming.
Hello, game. Hello,
But-
YouTube.
It makes some, but it's like I think YouTube had a very measured response, and they are,
Yeah.
and they're not at fault here. I don't think we're even talking about YouTube's attack. It's everybody else's thing. Like YouTube had a measured response. It made sense. I don't think Felix even attacks YouTube for what they did.
Oh, he pokes fun at him all the time.
But yeah, but that's he did. I don't think he attacked him any more than he normally does.
Which,
And any of the major streamers now have concerns about the YouTube algorithms as it is anyways. It's a normal concern. It's a concern to us, but we're not big enough for really anything to matter. What you listen to three guys talking about video games, so.
Our concern at the moment is YouTube taking away view count for us because they've done that twice now.
well,
And
they
that's
also do
the
some
hit.
overestimates too.
Which
They're-
might
'cause
be
they're-
doing it, so bringing it back in line. But if that's
Yeah,
the case,
they have
no.
their algorithms in place for tracking these numbers isn't perfect. So once in a while they're going to be doing some sweeping. There's going to be channels that like gain hundreds of views, ones that lose hundreds of views, just in the analytics really. When the actual numbers come in, when all of the dust has settled really, when they adjust for bots going through videos and shit like that, they have to mess around with the algorithm awkwardly so that it can kind of like track things rightly. But I mean, the people who are watching your videos are going to be watching your videos, and that's kind of what it is. So the revenue you're bringing in from that, it's still going to be the same. That's not going to change. It's not going to determine whether or not there's like an increase or decrease, because that's all going to be distinctly measured. They're not going to give a shit if a bot clicks on an advertisement because they're already getting paid to have the advertisement there. The advertisers would be the ones who have any level of concern over that, and they probably don't anyways because they're already paying kind of an amount already. So
So I mean, just looking in the chat at the moment, it's he's surprised everyone has not got bored by him yet. Which is, we do all have a shelf life on this stuff. So if he's adapting though through the times to do this to stay relevant, then all the power to him really on that. But it just crossed that line a little bit. At the wrong point, he got caught out with, especially with everything else going on in the world at the moment with that. That's what I think went wrong. I mean, Gio's also said, PewDiePie himself, he said he fully understands what Disney and YouTube had to do. What he had to do, he doesn't blame them, but calls out the sites who are trying to attack him with clickbait stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
measured responses. I think that the people who, in the end, who didn't create the content and had to make a response, made, Tiger Woods gets caught cheating on his wife. Nike pulls the sponsorship. It look at any sports star that's gotten caught doing something bad. Most companies pull their sponsorships of them. It's the way it is with
doesn't
public
matter
figures.
if it's true or not even.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, because they have to
They
be
pull
seen
until the dust
to do
clears.
something. And then, as you said, when the dust clears, I mean, how long before we see Hogan back? They've already started talking about him again. In passing bits. So, it's kind of trickling back in. So maybe a year or two, you might see stuff back on advertised.
I don't think Hogan's coming back because he, smashed the shit out of Gawker and just got the money from that from suing them. So. We're not going to open that can of worms.
Yeah. And
The only thing we can talk about is Kotaku now, and we're not going to do that.
Because it's like Beetlejuice. You say its names 3 times and just shit happens. You just don't want to unleash that can of worms.
Right. Other bits in the chat so far, we include there's many other sites who jump gun trying to edit their articles but not their tweets and so on. Yeah, that's something Donald Trump needs to be doing, and actually shut his mouth completely, and actually rather than talk about bitching about ratings and his inauguration bit and how much he won by votes on the election, to actually do his job and forget about that shit now, because he isn't doing that. But then we got Ewan in the chat going, if they were actually trying to take him down, he would disappear for now. Yeah, he would do something along those lines and go, yeah, you know what?
He would have done what Chris said. He would have jumped platform. He would have taken subscribe people with him, and that would have been that.
He would have gone along with it. I genuinely think that like the rest of the major gaming identities would have followed with him, because I mean, if they're gonna do it, he has a specific thing, and here's the funniest thing is that the main video that flagged this. He was actually shitting on Keemstar. He wasn't even saying like do a thing to me. The actual clip, and I'm going to say the quotes that was there. He went on to Fiverr and he wanted to it was an abstract idea to him, and I'm paraphrasing his explanation as to where the video's origin was he found a concept that didn't really make sense to him. And he wanted to see the limits of that concept. So he went to Fiverr.com, which is just a fucking, like a $5 freelance thing. And he posted some things, and he put in, I think it was just subscribe to Keemstar. And sent that out to just random people. And it was, do anything else in the video you want, say this at the end. And one of them was some kids from India who made a sign that said "Death to all Jews," and then they shouted "Subscribe to Keemstar," which, without any context, that's just out of the fucking blue, and it looks terrible. But when you realize he just put this open thing to do whatever, shitposters are gonna shitpost. Like, trolls are gonna troll. That's what it is. Take a good solid look at He Will Not Divide Us, the stream. There was a person who reenacted the Dark Knight individually himself on this live stream. Just cuz.
There was also a comedian over here. And he's also, you could say he did a producer, director. He's done more than this. He was called Chris Morris. And he directed Four Lions, the film. If you've not seen the film Four Lions, it's about 4 Muslim guys who plan a suicide bombing. Not really a subject of great comedy you would think in that, but it was a funny film, and it because it's so far past past that line that he drove over it, but he did it well. And so he couldn't get shit for it. But he was also known as, we called him at times a media terrorist, because he did stuff like he did a show called Brass Eye, and not only did he have a subliminal message on it saying "Grade is a cunt" at one point flash up, which is it's a bit legal to have subliminal messages on a TV show. So he got banned for that. But he also did an episode of it about paedophilia and how the media reacts to it. And he got kicked off the channel for it because they went, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing it this way. This is disgusting. This is wrong." So many complaints about it. But he did it because the way the hysteria happens with not only celebrities, jumping to a cause quickly. I mean, you had Phil Collins there with a hat, the Shisha, with nonsense on it. So it's utter nonsense. And they didn't realize this. And then when you found out they're getting shown up for being stupid and just wanted to grab anything to get in the spotlight, you get shit for it. And to me, this kind of sounds like that similar bit, but because it's PewDiePie, because of the way he started and how he hasn't actually come out as being, he started out as a comedian and trying to do this stuff. this is why he's getting shit for it, because they're taking it literal sense in the current climate, and that's why he's getting all the shit for it. Because what, 5-6 years ago, would this have been a bit of a complaint, but nothing much happened? Exactly.
By the
Hell,
way,
fucking roll back 2 months ago.
were those videos listed as explicit?
Probably.
Okay, so
I think all of his stuff is explicit because
So-
of his
so-
language.
yeah, so it's listed as explicit to saying that this may contain material that is may be offensive to some people. So YouTube's disclaimer was already there. Okay,
So if that's the case, then if the disclaimer's there, people really can't do shit about it, because you've already said some things in here you may find offensive.
you
it's
click
like
the
saying-
okay.
And it's not like he's being a Poe either. He's not being like so satirical that it's really hard to tell if he's being serious or not. He's like a fairly clear satirical. Like, it's not like he's being, believable. Like what's her name? Avalion. I don't know if anyone remembers. There was this girl who did this parody YouTube channel that was basically her saying like Nazi shit, and it was her fucking around. Like, this is so like far off the deep end that people have to think it's a joke, but apparently it was really hard to tell that it wasn't.
hell.
That it was a joke. People thought it was serious, and so she got banned from YouTube, like straight up banned. She's like, oh.
Mono in the chat earlier on said 2 words: good mooning. Now that's in reference to another sitcom that was over here called Hello Hello, and it was based in occupied France during World War II, and they were on about the resistance. Now it was being played by English actors with very dodgy French accents, and the British ones trying to do these accents were just coming across blatantly bad. It was just, again, it comes across really, really bad, and in this day and age they wouldn't get away with it. No. But it's that same context.
Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes, yeah.
About freaking soldiers being in a Nazi camp, and like them just once again it was a sign of the times.
Yeah. And so I think he went too far? Yeah. Do I think he should have got blasted and saying, well, he's anti-Semitic? No. Because if he's saying it is joking and he hasn't seen to come across as being what they're saying, it's just too far. Because
I don't even think he went too far either. Because the joke in question was that he was pointing towards a different YouTuber who has a history of being a douchebag. So like it wasn't even like, oh yeah, check me out, I'm so edgy. It was, this guy's a dick, let's poke fun at him. And then racism happened.
And then racism happened.
And then racism happened.
I think that's the perfect way to do it. It's just don't poke fun at people because they're dicks, because racism happens. There's the moral of the story.
Don't poke dicks.
Because racism.
Leave that.
Don't poke dicks because racism.
There are 3 types of people in this
Take
world.
that,
Dicks.
Conan Dong physics.
And then this is when we got flagged as a white supremacist live stream.
Don't.
Literally the opposite. Like, just don't be racist. Apparently, you all are racist, and we need to flag you now.
I mean, Will's from the country of the original white supremacists, so.
Yep. Way back in day.
Way back in ye old imperial days.
Yep. Hell, that's how we started an empire.
But by the way, if you want to talk about it, they may have been, but they were ruled by a woman. Remember that. Remember that.
I don't know which era you're talking about, because I started trying to look through the earliest era of what we can count that as. I'm sitting on the Crusades right now.
I'm not. I was thinking past the Crusades. We're talking like imperialist Hong Kong, India,
Okay, yeah. All
you
right.
know, kind of more, post World War One, pre World War Two.
Yeah, because World War Two, we had to give all the countries back.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that you got behind you? Get your back. We've got Gibraltar and some other countries. It's going to start giving them back.
I almost went into a Bane there.
On Gibraltar. We've got countries for the people.
For the people. South Africa will be back to the people. Hong Kong will remain a special economic district.
And the Falklands, we need that for sheep purposes.
Wasn't there a battle over the Falklands?
Yeah, 1980s. Argentina and Britain.
Okay.
That was quite a short but brutal war.
No, I'm not. I mean, there's the Bay of Pigs for the United States. Imagine it's the same thing. It's just a footnote in history. By the way, history note. Look up the Battle of the Falklands Isles. You learn a bit.
As a closing bit of this part, so we can go into a bit more happier stuff.
Misanthropy. That's the word I was looking for.
Mono's got a perfect line. It's like, don't be racist. Hate everyone equally, just like I do.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Hashtag misanthropy.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
misanthropy.
So that's the news for this week. So we move on to what we've been playing this week. And I know I've heard that it's going to be slightly light for someone, so I'll let him go first. So James, I know you said you've not played much. I'll let you go first out of the way so you can get
Okay.
yours.
I haven't played anything. There you go.
Done.
Done. There you go. Nailed it.
Chris, what have you been playing this week, mate?
Exclusively Castle Wolfenstein.
No, I'm kidding.
'Cause
I've been
America.
playing, I played 3 games of League of Legends to remind myself why I will never play League of Legends again. I played some Overwatch, of course. I've been bouncing around games. I played a little bit of Ultimate Chicken Horse the other day. That's a fun little one. And just kind of running dailies on fucking Binding of Isaac. So, not much. It's been kind of slow. I'm setting up things for different emulators because I think I want to start doing some emulators for videos.
Ooh.
Because then I can play shit in my Steam games, and I don't have to worry about it. Because I'm just like, oh, I'll save that. Oh, no. Hey, I'll play this one for. No, I'm saving that for stream. Oh, I can play that. No, that's a stream game.
That's literally my thing. I want to play Borderlands. That's a stream game. Want to play Division. That's a stream game. Want to play? Oh, that's a stream game.
I've been doing that myself. I mean, I've set up my free that I want to do for Game Blast next weekend, and which they've been in what I've been playing this week, so I can talk about them. So for me, I have been playing the usual stuff like the Zen Pinball. We've been playing Sorcerer's Lair this week, and sandbagging continues. It's just the best way I can think of to say it. I'm just not getting anywhere near the stuff. I've been playing some more Euro Truck Simulator. I've been going from between Belgium and Germany, backwards and forwards for a couple of bits. Oh, and then went back to Cardiff, which I almost got bollocked by Gina on this one, because I posted on Twitter this week. I went from Bratislava to Cardiff. So, and she goes, if I hadn't reread that, you'd have been in trouble because you didn't come and see me or let me know you were coming to Cardiff. It's like, in a truck from Bratislava. So it's like, yeah, I was tired. But this weekend on Euro Truck Simulator, whenever I'm streaming it, I crash more. I crash like 6 or 7 times, even including, right, the toll booths on the motorways and the autobahns you get. Pulled up to that, paid my bit that I needed to pay to go through, lifted up, drove straight out. I still crashed into it. no reason. It's like, how did that happen? How did I crash into this by just going straight through it like I normally would? Just made no bloody sense. But yeah, I did have a couple of near misses as well. So it's really it's a nice relaxing game. Nice relaxing game on it though. So you can have a decent soundtrack to it. You can play something from YouTube. You can just zone out and just drive, and you can take up a few hours, and it's fine. It's not like a clicker game. Which, by the way, I did text James this morning about this when I woke up. I removed Crusaders of the Lost Idols from my PC. It is gone. If you go, if I could do a little video showing you on our Steam where it says install, so it's just prove it's not there, but it's gone. No, there's no more clicker on it. Done. So anyway, Rainbow Six, I played again this weekend, and it wasn't much because Ubisoft have done it again. They have taken a game that wasn't broken and they've fucking smashed it up. Again. We tried playing with Ed, yeah? Rob and myself can get into the game. Even though Ed's invited us and has the party set up, it won't allow him into the same game we are. It'll go into a different one or not at all. And it's like, thanks Ubisoft. You had this working and you had to ruin it, didn't you? You just had to fucking... I mean, Mono said it's beyond shit now, and I don't necessarily agree with that, because when you get a game going, it can still be a good laugh. But when they pull this shit, it doesn't help. It really doesn't. So we decided to switch to Titanfall 2, which James came in to play with us on this one.
Yes, and I did play Titanfall 2 with you guys, and got real try hard on the Pilot v Pilot one.
You absolutely owned that one. Because wasn't it, 26-3 your kill death ratio?
Yeah, with like 10 assists.
And we were just shit. He just fucking owned it, which was amazing to see, because we went on to the last Titan standing, which is like a 5v5 Titan match, and we were just nowhere, were we?
No.
We tried going around, tried flanking. It's just nope, wasn't working. But it's still a good laugh. It was still, when you get your mates in there, you get a team going. You do get some really good moments on there, and I believe we streamed it, so we'd have to look out for that coming soon. Onto the bit. Because this week I was able to actually stream properly because I didn't have a stinking cold. I actually started Red Dead Redemption as part of the Sunday service. I've forgotten just how much fun and how great that game is. I loved that game the first time when I played it on PS3. And the horses are stupid. It's as stupid as Roach, maybe a bit more. But, the gunfights are great. You've got this set piece, kind of smaller set pieces at the beginning. It was brilliant. And there was one point where I had to take out six outlaws. But the sixth one he had to just injure, because he didn't want to have him dead. So in 6 shots, I did 5 kills, and took it and hit him in the leg. And I don't normally do that stuff. This is sometimes with like a first-person shooter or third-person shooter, my aim can be off. But this one, it was just a boom, 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 boom. It's like, ooh, I like this. More of this, please.
I used to be an outlaw in the West until I took a bullet in the knee.
And it's like, then I had to just work for the government because they're bastards. But going against other things, I also played Mafia 3. I started a bit more of that.
Talking about racism.
Exactly. And my God, the actual story of that really, really is horrific with how bad it was back in the 60s. It got to the point where it's opened up now, so it's a more open world, so you can start doing collectibles and little side missions, which the side missions aren't really there yet. There's probably about 2 that can fit into the main mission. I'm doing the collectibles off stream, so it's not going to be it's just going to be story based a lot of the time, so you guys can't see the Playboy bits and I can't get kicked off Twitch for looking at them, because if the Playboy bits are there, I'm going to have a look because it's collectible. Because you can, and as Punisher says, it is full on racist.
Could be considered a period piece, though.
Yes, that's why they've done it, and that's what they've put as a disclaimer at the start, saying, look, this is what happened in the 60s around this, where we've set this. So, it would be remiss of us to not have it as authentic as what happened as possible. And I do like the way the story changed, because I did kind of see something coming with where the whole main story is kicked off, but it's still hit, and it still hit hard. And so that was it's quite shocking in terms of the story, but gameplay, we'll have to wait and see, because if it's going to be the same sort of almost like a cookie cutter of Ubisoft games, where you have to do like wiretapping into little sections of the city to open more city bits up, more collectibles up. So I'm hoping it doesn't really descend into that, because that's going to take the shine off of what so far is a good game. Played more Rocket League for the community stuff, because we also played offline. Bish, Fingers, Curtis and myself on Wednesday night played some Rocket League, because they went, do you want to, or you're about? Fuck it, why not? We came off as like, I think it's about 12 or 13 wins to about 7, maybe 8 losses. So we had a good run of about 7 straight games where we were just owning our opponents. We've been playing competitive of late, because it started to get ranked and started to do really good stuff. And we also compared our wins and how many matches we've had. I had about 770 with a win ratio of 46.6%. Curtis, however, right, at this point, this was before the community event we did, played 2,436 matches. Do you want to take a guess at his winning percentage? Nope. His percentage from 2,436 games, 70% win ratio. That now, for someone who keeps saying, "Oh, I'm lucky," or "I'm useless,"
sandbagging.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, oh man, it's like, there's being humble, and then there's taking the piss and outright lying. And as Curtis is lying now in the chat, right? You can see it. It's utter bullshit from him for this stuff. So we had some really, really fantastic games, and to be frank, my skill has improved on it. I'm starting to be able to dribble a bit more. The passing is coming back. I'm not gonna go, well, I'm up to shit. I was on Thursday night, but then again, the people we were playing against were, Bish, Fingers, Shraffam, friend of the show, Carl Palmer, and his mate Beanhead, are really good at this. And when you get Carl and you get Curtis on the same team, you're gonna have trouble scoring, because they're damn good at goalkeeping in this. So it's just, next week, if you want to join in, please do so, though, because it's a lot of fun and it's great. We don't have to we don't have to have a huge skill level. If we're not in the process of ripping the piss out of you if you're really crap. But we are going to have fun though. We are going to take the piss because we do with Boo. Because he can't be on headset a lot of the time. So we have to do his Yorkshire accent. Like, oh, I'm gonna come nick your goals. He's gonna, because the way he acts, the way some of his stuff he says in chat, we're gonna rip the piss. It's just gonna happen. But we do it. We do it in fun. We don't do it maliciously. But yeah, come in, join us if you have Rocket League. It doesn't matter if you have it on PS4. Doesn't matter if you have it on Xbox or PC. We're gonna do that because that's
it does have cross-platform multiplayer.
Yes, it does, and you can use the password to do that for it. So there, and then finally, for a bit to completely ruffle some feathers, Gina and myself have been doing some more co-op streams, and it has been coined on what the actual flying fuck Thursday.
I like it.
Right. Not in any way, shape, or form nicking another stream team's idea of a title for a stream in any way, shape, or form. But this week we played Super Dungeon Brothers. Now this is a game we tried at EGX, and it's like a dungeon crawler. It's isometric top down, but it's also like an RPG in terms of you can buy better weaponry for it, you can buy better armor. One of the key points of this is teamwork, cooperative teamwork, where you can pick each other up and fucking chuck each other about to get across the platforms, to get levers, to get chests, just for gold, for pure looting purposes. And there was one point though where you run out of loot, and it just says you might as well run because you're going to get swarmed. You're not going to get any more loot. And when they say swarm, they fucking mean it. Because you just think Diablo 3 times that by about 4 to the amount of actually enemies you can get, and they just pile on. But you can get special attacks by pressing triangle, and the one that you get to start off with is like a spinning attack. And how you spin, you pick up the person you're with, and both of you just start spinning like a whirling dervish with a sword going around to try and kill everybody out. It's just brilliant. So I'm going to try and get other people to do it because you can have 4 players on this. So if you guys want to join us, I know we'll have to try and get you a PS4, Chris, but if you want to join us, again, we're doing it next Thursday. Join us. It's going to be a laugh because it's brilliant. It was fun last week. Is it the greatest game in the world? No, it's not. There are better we've played. The online can be a bit more stable. The game can be a bit more stable because it crashed about twice on us. So, you're going to get a couple of YouTube videos that are going to be a bit iffy. It'll split up at least. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Which will move us to Game Blast, which is next weekend. Now, the 3 games I've said I'm going to be playing are Red Dead Redemption I'm going to be playing for about 4 hours. I'm going to be playing Rocket League for at least 4 hours. And if I'm not bogged down with playing Rocket League, because, it's Rocket League, I'll probably play a bit of Titanfall 2. If people want to play with us for Rocket League, they can do. However, and here's the little catch: there is a minimum donation of £10 that you have to pay to Special Effect for Game Blast to join us in playing it. So to get the charity a little something out of this. Because that's what we're doing it for. We're here for Special Effect. We're here to help disabled people be able to play games again. Because some of them have been, in the war, and they've lost, amputations or spinal injuries. And if they were playing games before, they want to do it again. So this, in a way, helps them, helps them with rehabilitation, but also helps other disabled people start playing. So that's what we've been. So next, it's 25th and 26th. We're starting on 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time, where James will be starting out for at least 8 hours. Then Chris will be jumping in beforehand, and then I'll be taking over for the final 12. So, any shout-outs? We've got any shout-outs?
I will probably be playing Ghost Recon's beta, Wildlands, because that's going to be that weekend.
Oh.
Open beta.
I kind of want to do a community Dota 2. Just do some crazy random fucking arcade games. And participation will be a lower minimum than the $10 play-in. But still something, I'm probably going to tag it like $2, $5, something within a lower range because it's that, but... Or maybe like one a round, something like that. So, but yeah.
I think someone likes Yoshi's story.
Also, yeah, Des really wants me to talk about Yoshi's story. I haven't played it yet. I'm setting up the emulators and I'm getting an N64 controller so I can do Let's Plays of it. So.
Well, then there's going to be one view.
I can choose to embarrass. Or I can choose not to embarrass. The temptation to embarrass is really high, but instead I'm going to go ahead and do some shout out of.
Is this yes to embarrass
friend,
or yes to let's stream? Oh, there you go. You have approval.
Oh, okay, all right. Last night, Des came over and we were playing a little bit of Ultimate Chicken Horse, and she was inebriated to a certain degree. Started talking about Yoshi's story about how it was like the only game she ever fell in love with, and then I downloaded an emulator for it, and she just bawled her eyes out for like an hour, not playing it at all, sitting on the start menu, just bawling her eyes out. At the game. Like, I love it. I love this game. And then she picked up the controller, went to go move it up and down, and I hadn't quite configured the Xbox controller to work like the proper setup. Got pissed off at it, shoved it onto my lap and said, "No, this is wrong."
Has she tried Yoshi's Woolly World yet?
Oh, I gotta make her play a lot of games. But I'm ordering N64 controllers and different controllers to kind of expand on that. I intend to do gaming from a non-gamer on my YouTube at one point, which is I'm going to have her review games. She doesn't play games. She hates.
So, cool.
Yes, World, my baby. What's up, SeaWorld? How's it going? Welcome. You caught the tail end of this.
Yep, because we're just going to say where we are, and that is we can find us on Twitter at TGWPIS. Obviously, you can find us on Twitch at the same bit. You can find us on YouTube, which give us a sub on YouTube. Help us get to 100 subs so we can get a custom URL, which would be really good, because then we don't have to do like the weird sort of channel numbery lettery bollocks on our address for it. We don't want that. We want a custom one. Don't worry, it won't be anything offensive. Or will it? Never know. But you can also find... You can also find myself on Twitter at LarTeammaker. You can find me on PSN at LarTeammaker. Same as on Xbox. Steam is PSN_LarTeammaker. And I'm also on Facebook as well. We are also on Instagram, aren't we? Of TGWPI or is it PIS as well? James.
Which one?
Instagram.
Insta.
I caught you on the bounce there.
I was reading the final words. It's TGWPI.
PI. So you find us all there, and because you can find James. He's pretty much Tig Whippy, aren't you? Really, mate. Really.
Yes, I am Tig Whippies.
But where can they find Chris?
Well, you can always find me here on Twitch TV /Hergelman. You can find me on the Twitter @Hergelman, and you can find me at the YouTube at youtube.com/TheHergelman.
That's pretty much it. We only have one thing left to say.
And that is from our good friend Buffalo Bill Cody, whose famous last words were, "So let's forget about it and play high five." High five, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next week. God help me on Game Blast. God help me.
See you later.
No God.